Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to a new week of home learning. And this week's quite exciting because we start a new learning journey. So our last learning journey was based around English, wasn't it? We were looking at imagery. But today we're starting a new learning journey, and that's in science. So we're starting a science learning journey. So we're going to be learning about science, and in science we're going to be learning all about light. And our learning journey question today is, how does light reflect off different surfaces and enable me to see? So if you have a page of paper in front of you, what I want you to do is I want you to get that page of paper out, and then I want you to look at my PowerPoint or my notebook or my PowerPoint slide here on the video. And what you need to do is you need to set out your page like this. So at the top you're going to have your question, and you're going to have arrows coming off your question, so you're going to have to leave some space around it. Then you're going to need two sections. One section's going to be what do I already know, and the other one's going to be what can I try and find out. And then finally you're going to need a section for our outcome, so what we're going to produce at the end of our science learning journey. So you're going to need 1, 2, 3, and then with the learning journey question, 4 sections. So you need to spread your page into 4 sections. So today our learning journey question is, how does light reflect off different surfaces and enable me to see? And you can see here that I have underlined 4 keywords that we really need to know what they mean. So what you need to do is you need to draw arrows coming from these 4 underlined words. So we've got light, reflect, surfaces and enable. And then you need to go up and look up definitions for those words. So what's the definition of light? What's the definition of reflect? What's the definition of surfaces? And what's the definition of enable? So you need to draw arrows off your question, pause the video, and write up your 4 definitions. So pause the video, write out the question, and write up those 4 definitions with arrows. Pause the video and do that now. Now that you've done that, we're going to look at the next 2 sections. Well, what do I know? So what you might already know some things about light. So for example, what do we need light to do? Well, you'll probably already know that light enables us to see already. So you probably already knew that. What might you already know about light? Do you know how it moves? Do you know sources of light? Do you understand some things already about light? Do you know how quickly it moves? You might already know. What prior knowledge or what knowledge do you already have about light, and how might that help us? Then what do you think you're going to need to find out? Well, we know here that we need to see. So what do we normally see with? Eyes. So we're going to have to learn about the eye. We might going to have to learn about how light actually reflects, how light moves. What different surfaces are we talking about? So what do we need to find out? So then you need to fill in those 2 sections now. So pause, draw out these 2 sections, and then you need to think about what you already know and then what you're going to need to find out. So pause the video and do those 2 sections now. Now that you've done those 2 sections, we're going to write out our outcome, and that should come at the bottom of your page. So our outcome is we're going to produce a non-chronological report. So we're going to produce a report on light, explaining how it travels directly to the eye or reflects off of objects, and this is what helps us see. So we're going to be producing a report on light and explaining how it moves, how it reflects, how we're able to see because of light, different light sources, and we're going to put this in a report. So at the bottom of your page, you're going to need to write out this outcome. We're going to produce a non-chronological report on light, explaining how it travels directly to the eye or reflects off objects. So pause the video now and do that one. Now that you've done that, you should have a full page of work. You should have your learning journey question at the top with your 4 definitions coming off of it. You should have 2 sections, one about what you already know and one about what you need to find out in the future. And then at the bottom of the page, you're going to have your outcome. You've written up your outcome, and you should have just copied mine because that's going to be our outcome at the end of our learning in 3 weeks' time. Now that you've done that, you probably have an amazing whole page of work, and please send that in and post it on Class Dojo. And I can't wait to see all that amazing work that you've done. Well done for doing this lesson today, and I can't wait to see all your work.